Good evening and afternoon, everyone. I hope you guys are good, are doing well, and preparing for your exams. Right? So today we are going to be talking about special angles. Right? Day before, on the last section, we're doing reducing angles. Right? We're doing reduction of angles. All right. So if you haven't delved into that, or dive into that, make sure you go to part 4 and you understand. All right, but I would advise for you guys to start from part 1 2 3 until this section. All right, so this one is going to be your part 4, special angles. All right, so what are we talking about? Special angles. Special angles are angles that for example, the smallest that we can talk about is 30, 45, 60, 90, 120, and 135. All right, this is the minimum that I can give. Right, also 160, 180, right, not 160, yeah, let me see, is 135, 180, yes, 125, 210. All right, so but now we are going to be focusing on only these are the only special angles that we are going to be focusing on, right, which is 30, 45, and 60. Right, so we are going to be focusing on 30, 45, and 60. These are the only special angles that we will be talking about. Right, so now you can cheat this, but I'll always advise you to understand it, right, because you will get penalized every time when you cheat or somebody notices that you have cheated. All right, so now how do we find special angles? All right, in order for you to understand special angles, first of all, let's start with the basic one. A sine of, always start with the sine of 60 or sine of 30. Right, a sine of 30 is just basically 1 over a 2. Right, a sine of 30 is basically a 1 over a 2. Always you can punch it in your calculator and get 1 over 2. All right, but what do we do from there? Draw your triangle. We are going to use the rectangle triangle method. All right, draw your triangle, okay, and put your 30 here. Right, I have my triangle, I have my 30 here. All right, so we are going to use the triangle method in this case. Okay, so if I check here, the sine of 30 is 1 over 2, and I know the 1 over 2 is the same as opposite over hypotenuse, right, which means my opposite is 1, my hypotenuse is 2. So I'll write this one 1 and I'll write this one is 2, so which means I'm left with what? An x. Right, remember, using the the triangle method. So r squared is equal to x squared plus y squared. Right, therefore what are we getting as our x? We are getting 2 squared is equals to x squared plus 1 squared, which is 4 is equals to x squared plus 1 squared, or plus 1. All right, so it's 4 is equals to x squared plus 1, 3 is equals to x squared. Therefore x is equals to plus or minus 3. All right, remember that we said in the rectangle triangle you always take positive answers, so I'll identify my x as a positive 3. The square root of positive 3. The square root of positive 3. All right, so this is my square root of 3. Oh, what have I done? Right, so this will be square root of 3. Right, so I know now this is 60. Okay, I know now already this is a 60. Then what do I do from there? Okay, it is much easier for me to determine a cos of 60. So a cos of 60, what am I focusing on? It is an adjacent over hypotenuse, which is an adjacent over hypotenuse, which is a 1 over a 2. I can find a sine of 60 as well using the triangle, which will be sine of 60. It will be a root 3 over 2. Again, don't use a calculator. Don't use a calculator. I'll repeat that. Don't use a calculator, guys. All right, you will be penalized. Don't use a calculator. Don't use marks on careless things. All right, so let's see. What about tan of 30? It's a tan of 30. What will it be? A tan of 30, right? Tan of 30 is just an opposite over square root of 3. All right, it is an opposite over square root of 3. All right, then what about a tan of 60? A tan of 60, what will it be? What will it be? It will be a root 3 over a 1, right? It will be basically a root 3 over a 1. Okay, a root 3 over a 1. What else are we missing? What about a cos of 60? A cos of 30. Yeah, let's try a cos of 30. A cos of 30 will be a root 3 over a 2. Okay, it is basically a root 3 over a 2. So these are the first special angles that you should know, right? If you don't remember them, make sure that you use your triangle method, right? Then the last one, okay, the last one, right? So why am I saying always use this method, guys? I want to show you something, right? So for example, tan of 30. Tan of 30 is 1 over root 3, right? Using this method. But on the calculator, a tan of 30 is basically a root 3 over a 3. All right. So this number already, the calculator has rationalized it. How? It is 1 over the root 3 times root 3 times root 3. So that's how you get root 3 over 3, right? It is already rationalized. So when the marker or the examiner sees this, already he knows or she knows that you have cheated. You will get penalized, right? You will get penalized 1 mark. Okay, because substituting a 1 over root 3, you'll get a mark there, right? So let's avoid such. Okay? Then the last triangle that you need to focus on is a tan of 45. A tan of 45, all right? So you use a sine of 30 and a tan of 45 only. It's 1. So this is a 1 over 1. I know this is my opposite, and this one is my adjacent, right? So I know I'll be having this. I'll be having a 45 here. I'll be having a 45 here. My opposite will be 1. My adjacent will be 1. Therefore, I'm left with what? A radius, which is unknown. So it's just the radius squared is equals to x squared plus y squared, which is 1 squared plus 1 squared, which is 2. Therefore, r squared is equals to 2. Therefore, r is plus minus root 2. Okay, plus minus root 2. Therefore, what are we having? It's a plus root 2. Remember, a radius is always positive. Then we have a sine of 45. A sine of a 45, it will be 1 over root 2, right? A cos of a 45, it will be a 1 over root 2 as well. But when you place it on the calculator will give you a sine of 45 as root 2 over 2. A cos of 45 is root 2 over 2. By writing this, guys, you won't get any marks. Because the question is saying that without the use of a calculator. All right, I hope that makes sense to you. So we don't use a calculator then, right? So now let's jump to some exercises. let's jump to some exercises, right? So now what are these exercises including? So let me zoom in. All right, so now we are going to use what we call our reduction method, and also a reduction method, and also the what reduction method, and also the special angles. All right, so we are going to start with 3.2. So I'm having a sine of 360 minus x, a tan of negative x, over a cos of 180 plus an x, a sine of squared a. Are we dealing with a? Oh yes, plus cos squared a, right? So what do we do when we have such, right? What do we do when we have such, right? So this is how we are going to solve this problem. Remember, go refer to part 4, right? Part 4, is it part 4? Yes, go to refer to part 4. Part 4 we'll talk about reduction of angles. So I won't be teaching this right now, so we are just basically applying it. All right, so reduction angles. So on part 4 we're doing reduction angle. This is also a reduction angle, and also this one is just an identity. All right, so how do we do this? First thing first, 360 minus x is in which quadrant? 360 minus x is in which quadrant? It is in the fourth quadrant. What is cos? What is sine? Sine is negative, so I'm going to say bracket negative sine x. All right, then bracket again. What is the tan of a negative x? A negative x is in the what? It is in the fourth quadrant, therefore tan is negative, right? Then we have a cos of 180 plus an x. A cos of 180 plus an x. Which quadrant is that one? Which quadrant is that one, right? So that one is in quadrant number 180 plus an x is just basically quadrant number 3. Quadrant number 3. So is cos positive or negative on quadrant number 3? No, it is negative. Negative cos x, right? Then what is a sine squared a plus cos squared a? This is an identity. A sine squared a plus a cos squared a will always give me a 1. So excuse me, I'll replace this one as a 1. So when I simplify, this becomes negative times negative is a positive sine x over cos x over negative cos x. Then what do we do from there? I can say this is a sine x times sine x over cos x, everything over cos x. All right, everything over cos x. So what do we do from there? So I'll have sine x cos x over cos x divided by cos x. So sine x cos x over cos x times 1 over cos x, right? Wait, I think I'm doing something wrong. Oh yeah, everything is still fine. Wait, there's a mistake here. There is a mistake here. I'm seeing it right now. Right, okay, so we're supposed to be having sine x squared over cos x divided by cos x. All right, so this becomes sine squared x over cos x times 1 over cos x. So in total we're having sine squared x over cos squared x, which is basically sine x over cos x to a power 2, which is what are we having? This is tan squared x. Tan squared x. So that's what I'm having. Okay, that's what I'm having, right? Then what do we do from there? I hope everyone understood. So after that you just cancel. That's it. Oh, there's nothing to cancel here. Then we prove the identity. We have to prove the identity now. So how do we prove the identity? Okay, I think I have to cancel this due to space. Right, just follow step by step. Right, so let's see. Alright, let's try 3.3 now. 3.3. Alright, 3.3, what do we do? Okay, so 3.3, I'm having a tan of theta minus the cos of theta over sine of theta is equals to a 1 minus 2 cos squared theta over sine theta cos theta. All right, so proving an identity, when you're proving an identity you just select one side that is complicated. All right, so I have the left hand side and the right hand side. All right, so the left hand side, it seems as if there is nothing there that I can change. I can't change sine, I can't change cos, I can't change cos, I can't change, okay, I can change one, but right, so but this one I know I can change tan. Right, so usually choose the one that seems complicated. So I'm going to say the left hand side is equals to tan theta minus cos theta over sine theta, which is sine theta minus cos theta over cos theta minus cos theta over what? Over let's see, over over sine theta, right? So we find the LCD. The LCD is just a multiple of this one, so it's going to be LCD, lowest common denominator, so it's going to be cos theta sine theta. This is just a basic fraction method, so we say cos theta sine theta divided by cos theta. So I know I'll be left with sine theta, so it's sine theta times sine theta minus, therefore if I cancel sine theta on this LCD, I'll be left with what? With the cos theta, so it's cos theta times cos theta. So when I simplify, I have sine theta squared minus cos theta squared over cos theta sine theta. All right, okay, but we haven't got what we are looking for. We haven't got what we are looking for. Right, now we go to this identity. Sine theta x plus cos theta x is equals to a 1. Right, so I want to know the value of what? Of sine squared theta. So I can just represent the sine squared theta as sine squared x is equals to 1 minus cos squared x. All right, so now I'll take this value and substitute it for sine. So I'll have 1 minus cos squared x minus cos squared x over cos theta. Oh, we are dealing with x, right? Or theta. Oh yeah, we are dealing with theta. So this was theta, 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 right? So this is theta, this is theta. So when I simplify it, become 1 minus 2 cos squared theta over cos theta times sine theta, right? So therefore it becomes equals to the right hand side, right? So we have proved the identity. We have proven the identity. Okay, then we go to the next question now. Out of 8 marks, okay, out of 8 marks, let's see. I want to do something. Okay, I need space here. All right. Okay. Okay, so what do we have here? Let's see. So we have 4.1.1. So I have cos 390 over cos negative 80 minus tan 360 minus x cos 180 plus an x cos x minus 90. Right, so I'll show you how you attain the marks, the whole 8 marks. All right, so what do we do here? We can write this one as cos of 180 of 360 plus 30, right, over, okay, we check this one is in which quadrant. This one is in which quadrant? Is in the third quadrant, is in the fourth quadrant. So, and it is a negative angle. What is the cos of a negative angle? It's just the cos of a 30. All right, I think we had a minus, so it's going to be a minus bracket. What is the tan of 360 minus an x? 360 minus an x, which quadrant is that one? It is basically the fourth quadrant, and tan is negative, so it's going to be negative tan x, right? What is the cos of 180 plus an x? Which quadrant is that one? It is basically in the third quadrant. Yes, it is in the third quadrant, and cos is negative, right? What do we do here? Okay, so this one, it is a reduction of a negative angle. Remember, what do you do when it is a reduction of a negative angle? We just add 360, right? So it's going to be a cos bracket, a cos of x minus 90 plus 360. All right, so what do we do here? When I simplify this one, I know a theta plus an angle is in there. A theta plus an angle, which quadrant is that one? It is basically in the let's see, plus theta, it is in the first quadrant, and cos is positive, so it's going to be positive 30 over cos 30. Very simple. Okay, then okay, so by changing this, you get a mark. By changing this, you get a mark. By changing this, you get a mark. All right, so also by getting this, you get a mark. Okay, so what do we do here? So we have a negative, 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 negative. So it's a negative times negative times negative. We get a negative. So it's going to be negative tan x cos x. Then this one is just going to be a cos of 270 plus an x, right? Then we simplify. Okay, simplify. You put this in your Lorna, using the special angle, root 3 over 2 over root 3 over 2. Don't just cancel. Okay, so you'll get negative tan x cos x. Okay, which quadrant is this one? I think this one is basically, let's see, 270 plus an x. Oh, I think, yeah, it is in the fourth quadrant. It is basically in the fourth quadrant, and cos is positive. But since we have 270 here, it becomes a non-equal function, so it becomes sine x. All right. Then what do we have? So you get a mark for this, you get a mark for this, you get a mark for this. How many marks do you have now? Right? How many marks do you have now? Okay, so almost 7. Then you'll have 1 over sine x over cos x times cos x times sine x, right? So what am I having? You'll have cancel sine squared x. So when you check, I think we did something like this. It is basically this. Where is it? Oh, now it's for cos. So I can just remember, now we had something like this. Now sine squared x, what am I doing? So sine x squared plus cos squared x is equals to 1. So we want to know the value of cos squared x. So cos squared x is equals to 1 minus sine squared x. Right, so now instead of writing this, we can write cos squared x. Right, so that is the solution for this one. Right, so that's how you get another mark. Okay, so for changing each term, you get a mark. For changing each term, you basically get a mark. I hope everyone understands. I hope everyone understood this one. Okay, I hope everyone understood this one, right? Due to space, I have limited space here. I have limited space. Okay. Right, so let's just cancel here. Let's do 4.2 now. 4.2. How can we solve 4.2? 4.2, right? You can pause the video if you want. Alright, to understand the exercise. Right, let's go to 4.2. 4.2. Alright, let's see, we have cos of an x times tan of 2x over 1 over cos x plus 1 plus a cos x, plus a cos x is equals to a 1. All right, so remember, you always select the difficult part. This is an identity, right? It is an identity, so I'm stubborn. I'm selecting the hardest part. You always select the hardest part. So the hardest part is on the left hand side. So I'm going to say left hand side is equals to cos x tan squared x over 1 over cos x plus 1. All right, plus another cos x. Right, so what do we do here? Okay, you simplify. So this one is the same as cos x times sine squared x over cos x, everything over 1 plus cos x. I'll explain how I got that one, x. All right, so what do I do here? I'm just focusing on this section, right? So it was 1 over cos x plus 1, right? So how do I solve this one? It's just a basic fraction method, all right? Simplifying fractions. So the LCD here is cos x, so it's cos x, right? Therefore we say cos x divided by cos x is 1 times 1. Here the denominator was 1, so cos x divided by 1 is cos x times 1. So I'm having 1 plus cos x over cos x, all right? Or let's just use the simplest method, 1 over 2 plus 4 over 3, all right? So let's see, the LCD here will be 6, so it's just a multiple of 2 times 6, so it's going to be 6. Then I say 6 divided by 2, 6 divided by 2, I get a 3. Then that 3 will multiply this factor times 1 plus 6 divided by 3, all right? Do you see I'm dividing by the denominator? So it was 6 divided by 2, I got a 3. That 3 times 1, right? Now is 6 divided by 3, I get a what? A 2. A 2, that's why I multiply it by 4, right? This is what we're doing in this section, all right? So that's what we just did. That's what we just did, all right? Let me cancel this one for space. Let's see. Okay, so what are we having here? Remember, we are having a plus cos x. Okay, so what do we have now? So we have, remember, this is a squared, right? So this x will cancel, this cos x will cancel this one, so I'll be left with sine squared x over cos x over 1 plus cos x over cos x plus a cos x. Does that make sense? Yes, I hope it does. All right, so here what can we do? We can just say sine squared x over cos x divide by 1 plus cos x, all right, 1 plus cos x over cos x plus a cos x, right? So this becomes sine squared x over cos x times cos x over 1 plus cos x plus a cos x. So what do? I know this one will cancel this one, right? So how many marks was this? 5. There's a lot of work for 5 marks, eh? So this is sine squared x over 1 plus cos x plus a cos x. All right, so what do we do from here? Do we simplify? No, simplifying will be very difficult. Let's see. Now we do the identity. Do you see this? This is an identity. So this is the same as sine squared x plus cos squared x is equals to cos x. All right. Oh yeah. Oh, we can simplify. All right, let's just do it in 2 ways. So I'm starting from here, right? So I can write this one as, oh, my mistake here. It's 1, right? So it's 1. So I can write it as sine squared. We are going to do it in 2 ways, minus cos squared x, right? So here, instead of writing sine x, I can write 1 minus cos squared x. So it's going to be 1 minus cos squared x over 1 plus cos x plus cos x. All right, so this is different of 2 squares, so it's 1 minus cos x 1 plus cos x over 1 plus cos x plus a cos x, right? So when we simplify it, what are we getting? So this one would cancel this, right? So I'll have 1 minus cos x plus a cos x, right? So I will get a 1. All right, do you see how we did that one? So that's the first method that you can approach after these steps. After this step, right? That's the first step that you can do. Let's see, using the alternative, right? Let's write it here. So we are starting from here because there are two methods that you can approach here. So I can say sine squared x over 1 plus cos x plus a cos x, right? So I can just use the LCD method. So this will be, the LCD for this one will be 1 plus cos x, right? So I say 1 plus cos x divided by 1 plus cos x, I'll get 1 sine squared x plus, then we say 1 plus cos x divided by 1, I get 1 plus cos x times cos x, right? So when I simplify, I just get sine squared x plus what cos x plus cos squared x over 1 plus cos x, right? So what do we do? Remember, I'll have sine squared x plus cos squared x plus the cos x is equals to 1 plus cos x, right? Therefore, what do I get? Right, what do I get? I can now simplify this one to, let's see, okay, remember this, it is basically this, you see, it is equals to 1. All right, let me go up. It is basically this thing that I'm having here is the same as this one, you see. So instead I can write it as what? I can write it as 1. So I have 1 plus, my mistake, I can write 1 plus cos x over 1 plus cos x cos x, I'll get a 1, right? So there were basically two alternatives that you could have used. Yeah, two alternatives that you could have used to understand this one, right? To get the answer. So it was basically this one or this one, right? I hope you guys understand. All right, then let's go to this one. Out of 6 marks, okay, out of 6 marks, so it's simplifying. Okay, I can now erase this one due to space. Let me erase, yeah, I erase this one. I hope everyone understood the method. You can pause the video if you didn't understand, and don't forget to subscribe, like and subscribe. All right, so now what are we having now? Let's say okay, let's try to simplify this one. Okay, then this one we'll call it tan off. I'm just simplifying. This will be tan of 225 degrees plus sine of 180 minus theta cos of 90 plus theta over cos of, I love this question, 90 minus theta sine of negative 9 theta minus 540. Right, so what do we do with here, right? So when we have an angle, try to find the special angle. So this one will be tan of 180 plus 45, then plus, then remember, once you change, it's a mark. You change something, you get a mark. Okay, so that's how you attain that 6 marks. So what is 180 minus theta? 180 minus theta is in the second quadrant. Okay, so sine is positive, so it's sine of theta. Cos of 90 plus the theta, it is in the second quadrant as well, but cos is negative, so it's going to be negative. All right, but since we have a 90 here, it becomes a sine. Remember, cofunction, right? Then everything over, then we have a cos of 90 minus theta. Which quadrant is that one? it is basically in the first quadrant. It is in the first quadrant. So what do we do from there? Sine is cos is positive, so it's going to be positive. Since we have a 90, it's going to be a sine theta. All right, now we have a Lana. We have what we have here. We have a reduction of a negative angle. What do we do? Remember, when it's a negative angle, we add 360. So it's going to be a sine of negative 0 minus 540 plus 360. Oh, this is negative theta, sorry. So we can simplify this one. So 180 plus 45, which quadrant is this one? It is in the third quadrant. Tan is positive, so it becomes tan 45. All right, then what do I have here? This become minus sine theta minus sine theta, it becomes sine theta squared over what do we have? I have sine theta k times sine of negative theta minus 180. Do you see that? Still, we are still having a negative angle, so we are going to add 360 here. So this becomes a 1 minus sine squared theta over sine theta sine of negative theta minus 180 plus 360, right? So just do everything step by step. Is 1 minus sine squared theta over sine theta times, times sine of 180 plus a theta, right? You see that negative 180 plus a theta, you'll get 180. So which quadrant is this one? So I have negative sine squared. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, yes. So it's going to be what? Oh, my mistake. So it's going to be, right, 1 minus sine squared theta over sine theta times negative sine theta. This is in the third quadrant. So in simple terms, what are we having? We are having, remember this represents cos squared theta. This one represents negative sine squared theta. Right, when you simplify it, you just negative 1 over tan squared theta. Okay, so this one will be the solution. So how do you attain the marks? Changing the sign by reducing, you get a mark 1, 2. All right, then what do we do? There was a reduction here, so you get a mark here. All right, together. Then changing this one, that's when you get a mark. All right, together. Then changing, where is this one? There's another one that we change, or changing this one, you get a mark. All right, so far you got how many marks? You got 5 marks. All right, so every change that you make, you get a mark. Then the final answer, which is negative 1 over tan squared theta. I hope everyone understood this one. Okay, let's go to the last one. Listen, yeah, let's have this one. Right, let's have this one. Right, so what do we do here? Oh, this one was very simple. 5 marks. I bet everyone can get that 5 marks. I bet everyone can get that 5 marks. Right, so what do we do on this one? So we have so what are we having? We have 3.1. I love using the black pen. Let's say sine of 90 minus x over sine of 360 minus x times, divide by tan of x minus 180. All right, so what do we do? Right, so in this one, 90 minus x, which quadrant is that one? 90 minus x is in the first quadrant. Okay, so sign is positive, bracket, but since we have a 90, it becomes a cos x. All right, over 360 minus x, which is in the third quadrant, in the fourth quadrant, and the sign is negative, so it's going to be negative sine x, divide by a tan of, remember this is a negative angle, what do? We add a 360 plus 360. So in simple, I'm having a cos of an x over negative sine of an x divide by tan of x plus 180, right? So I can just rearrange it and write it 180 plus an x, so which is 180 plus an x. So what do I have here? I have cos of negative cos of an x over sine x divide by, what do I have here? Which quadrant is this one? It is in the fourth quadrant and tan is positive, so I'll have positive tan x, right? Then I can simplify from there. So what do we do from there? So it's negative cos x over sine x divide by sine x over cos x, right? So this becomes, okay, let me write it here. This becomes negative cos x over sine x times cos x over sine x, right? So this becomes negative cos squared x over sine squared x. So I'll be having negative 1 over tan squared x. Oh, the answers were similar though. They were really similar. Okay, so this one becomes a solution. This becomes a solution. How do you get that 5 mark? Remember, a change is a mark, so a change, and also I think we changed this one from here. You got a 3 mark. Then you find the identity for tan. You get a mark because you have changed tan. Do you see that? You have changed tan. Then simplifying, you won't get a mark there. Then the final answer, you get a mark. All right. So let's see, how many questions are we left with? This video should, oh, this one was the last one. There are so many, but we'll end here. Okay, let's try this one. Okay, let's try this one. Okay, 3.3.2, 3.3.3.2, 3.3.3.2. So what are we having? Okay, so what are we having here? This one seems interesting. So we have a tan of 205, a cos of 3.1. Why do I love this question? Because every change that you make, you get a mark. That's crazy. 135 over sine 110 cos 150 tan 25. All right, so what do we do? I'll start with this one. It is a tan of 180 plus 25. This one will be a cos of 360 minus 45. This one will be a sine of 180 minus 45. This one will be a sine of 180 plus 30. This one will be a, this is 150 by the way. This one will be a cos of 180 minus 30. The other one will just be a tan of 25. All right, so already guys, I don't know how to explain this, but try with all means you do the right substitution. Okay, let's see, changing this, you get a mark. Let's see, so third quadrant, so this one will become positive tan. So I think brackets are very important. Positive tan 25. This one, which quadrant? The fourth quadrant, cos is positive, so it's cos 45. This one is the second quadrant, therefore sine 45. All right, so it is a positive. This one, which quadrant, is negative because it is in the third quadrant. Negative sine 30, right? That's a mark. This one is in the second quadrant. You'll get a cos of, negative cos of a 30, then a tan of a 25, right? So how you get a mark? We have changed this one, 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 we have changed this one. Very easy, very easy. I love maths. I love maths. Maths is so beautiful. Let's see. Now what can we do from there? So we can just cancel now. I think I'm seeing something here. We can just cancel here. Do you see this? It can just go away. So now I'm left with a cos of 45, a sine of a 45 over a negative of sine 30 cos 30, right? So remember, we said a cos of 45 is 1 over root 2 times 1 over root 2 over negative 1 over 2 times root 3 over 2, right? So what do we do from there? So this one, the top one, I'll get 1 over 2. The bottom one, I'll get negative 1 over 2 times root 3 over 2. So I can cancel here. Do you see that? Therefore, I'll be left with a negative 1 over root 3 over 2. That's one you can just put it on your calculator, over 2. So simple. When you put it on your calculator, you'll get, let me see, this will be 2, so it will be 2 root 3, negative 2 root 3 over 3. Right? So where's the other mark? Where's the other mark? So you'll get a 1 mark for substituting the correct things here. Okay, you'll get a 1 mark for substituting the correct things. Then the final answer you get, that's how you get, right? Or in simple, just to make sure that everything is correct, just punch. All right, how do you check your answer when you're dealing with special angles? Just punch what you are given. All right, just punch what you are given on your calculator. So you have a tan of 205, a cos of, what is it, a cos of 315, a sine of 135. You just punch it on your calculator. I'm just doing that as well here, which is a sine of 210, a cos of 150. I'm just praying it is correct. Just kidding, I know. There is no way. Let's see. So we got okay, according to, we got 1,154, right? So let's see, did I do everything correct? Let's see, wait, let's repeat it. Is a tan of 205, right? And a cos of 315. Let's see, what am I doing? Cos of 315, a sine. If it doesn't give me what I want, which means there's something wrong, I have to recheck my answer, right? Over sine of 2110, cos of, okay, I see the mistake. All right, here's a minor mistake. is a minor mistake. Remember, this is in the second quadrant. It's supposed to be negative. All right, it's supposed to be negative. So we are supposed to be having a negative and a negative here. I love maths. So the answer is supposed to be a positive, not negative. Supposed to be a positive, positive, positive. So this was supposed to be a negative here. Then the answer is positive. All right, so let's continue. You see, it is very important to check your answers, guys. Very, very much important. So tan of 25. Let's see. So yes, it is 1,1547. All right, so let's put this one on the calculator. It's 2 root 3 over it's 2 root 3 over 3. Yes, we are still getting the same thing. Is 1,1547. It's 1547. So it's basically the same thing. All right, it's basically the same thing. Oh, what have I done? What have I done? What have I done? Oh yes. Yes, so it's very important for you guys to check your answers. Then I'll just do one last question. That's one of 7 marks. Yeah, that's one of 7 marks. Okay, that's one of 7 marks. My time is always up. This was supposed to be a 1 hour. Yes. Okay, let's see. Oh, let me just write it here. Answer. All right, I hope you guys understood. So we got the same thing. So when you put it on your calculator, you get 1,1547. When you solve it, you still get 1,1547. So it's basically the same thing, right? So the mistake was here. This was in the second quadrant and causes negative there. That's why there's a negative here. All right, so now let's try to solve that 7 marks. Let's try to solve that 7 marks. Let's see. Yeah, we'll just do this one. I haven't done the general solution, so that will be the next topic. That will be part 6. That will be your part 6. And again, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Like and subscribe so that I can continue providing you with a good service. Maths is beautiful, right? So I'll be also posting videos on your grade 11 and grade 12 physical sciences. All right, I don't know, I have to create a series there because this one was a series for mathematics. Right, now let's create let's see, we have a tan. I don't know which question it was. 5.3 with a tan of 180 minus x, a cos of negative x, plus a sine of 360 minus x, a cos of 90 minus x, over sine of 180 minus x. All right, remember, a change is changing something, you get a mark. A correct change, you get a mark. So 180 minus x, which quadrant is that one? Is in the second quadrant, therefore tan is negative, so it's negative tan x. So if you don't understand this, guys, go to part 4. Yes, I think it's part 4 if I'm not mistaken. Go to introduction to trigonometry, part 4. All right. Okay, I've covered this section. A cos of a negative angle, this is in the 4th quadrant, therefore cos is positive, plus, oh, I think there was a square here. Yes, there's a square, so I can just take the square and put it here to make things much easier for me. So I can just write it as sine 360 minus x squared. All right, right, so this is cos of 90, you see, this is what I've done. It makes things much easier for me. Cos of 90 minus x, which quadrant is this one? It is basically, let's see, 90 minus x is the first quadrant, but since we have a 90, it becomes a cofunction, becomes a sine of an x over what we have here. We have what sine of 180 minus x is in the second quadrant, which is sine is positive, so it's just positive sine x. All right, therefore we have, what do we do there? What do we do? 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 Right? So what do you do? So okay, so I'm having a negative. All right, so I think, oh, we have to simplify this one, eh? So I have negative tan x times cos x plus, this one is in the third quadrant, negative sine x, but it is squared. Do you see that? Over sine x. All right, so I simplify, this becomes negative tan x cos x plus sine squared x sine x over sine x. All right. So what do we do from here? I can now change. All right, I can now change. This one becomes negative sine x times cos x over cos x plus sine 2x cos x. Where am I getting cos? So this is sine. All right, this is sine x everything over sine x. All right, then I can cancel this one and this one, so I'm just left with what? I'm just left with a negative sine x, right, plus sine 3x over sine x, right? Then I factorize, so sine x right, so I can factorize a negative sine x. Yes, let's just factorize negative sine x. Negative sine x is equals to 1 minus sine squared x over sine x, right? So what can I do here? I can just cancel. Okay, let's see. So I'll be left with a negative 1 minus sine squared x, and this is the same as negative cos squared x. Remember, this is also an identity, right? So this is what I'm having. Okay, then let's do 5.1. 5.5, is it 5.5? This one we haven't done it yet, right? So let's do 5.5. so we'll cover this one and this one in the next chapter. So let's do 5.5. so then we call it a day. So this will be 3 cos x over 1 plus sine x plus 3 tan x is equals to 3 cos x, right? Remember, it is an identity, guys. Dealing with an identity, you just focus on the difficult one, all right? So usually it will be the left hand side most of the time. Left hand side, sometimes it can be both of them, all right? Left hand side is equals to 3 cos x over 1 plus sine x plus 3 tan x, right? This is 3 cos x over 1 plus sine x plus 3 sine x over cos x. All right, LCD is just a 1 plus cos x, 1 plus sine x times cos x. right? So when you cancel 1 plus sine x on the LCD, what am I left with? I'm left with the 3 cos. I'm left with the cos x. All right, so I'll have cos x is equals to 3 cos x plus what do I have? I cancel cos x in the LCD. I'll have 1 plus sine x times 3 sine x, right? So now it's just a matter of simplifying. Guessing this will be 3 cos squared x plus 3 sine x plus 3 sine squared x. This is 2, right? All over 1 plus sine x cos x. All right, okay. So space is running out. Okay, but yeah, the E is not a big problem. It's not a big problem. So what can we do here? So we can just say now, I'll love to arrange this one and this one, right? So I'll call it a 3 cos squared x, or I can just factorize, yes, plus sine x squared plus sine x all over 1 plus sine x cos x, right? So from there, I know this one. Do you see this one? This one always represents a 1, right? So I'll have 3 bracket 1 plus sine x over 1 plus sine x cos x. What can I do from there? I can cancel, right? So which one can I cancel? Cancel this one. So I'm left with, which one am I left with? Is 3 cos x. Do you see now? Therefore it's cos to the right hand side. So that's how you solve that one. So try this one for me. Go try this one for me. Also try this one for me. Let me see. Do I have another one? I think there is one. Oh, it's finished. Yes, that was the last one. So go try. Let's just do it, guys. All right, let's just do it. So we are just left with 2 questions. 2 questions, 1 kill. All right. Let's see. How can you attempt this one? Let's see. What's the best method to attempt this one? So we have 5.2. We have 2 sine x cos x 1 plus tan squared x over tan x. How can you deal with this one? I'm still thinking of a method to deal with it. Let's see. Okay, I think like yes, let's see. I'm seeing something. All right, I think I have seen something already. So let's just convert. Let's just turn tan. So this will be 2 sine x cos x 1 plus sine squared x over cos squared x, everything over sine x over cos x, right? So this becomes 2 sine x cos x is equals to, what do we have here? Do you see this one? This will be, just focus it as a fraction, so it's going to be 1 plus sine squared x over cos squared x. So your LCD here is over 1 is cos squared x. So 1 divided by cos squared x, I'll have 1. So cos squared x divided by 1, I'll have cos squared x times 1. Cos squared x divided by cos squared x, I'll have 1 sine squared x. So in simple, I'm having cos squared x plus sine squared x over cos squared x, right? So I can write it here now. I have cos squared x plus sine squared x over cos squared x, right? Divide by sine squared x over, or sine x over cos x. So what do I do from there? This will be 2 sine x times cos x times 1 over, remember this is an identity, it always gives you 1, right? 1 over cos squared x plus cos x over sine x, right? I've turned this one, flipped it. So what do I do now? I just cancel, right? I just cancel. So this one will go with this one, right? So this one will go with 1 cos x here, and this cos x will go with this one. Do you see? So I'm only left with a 2 times 1, which is a 2. So that's the solution, right? So the answer is 2. How do you prove it? How do you prove it? You just take any angle that you want. You can put 20 as your x. So you just say 2 sine 20 cos, the answer that we should get is a 2 bracket 1 plus tan 20 squared over, I've substituted an x with a 20, tan 20, we get a 2. So the answer is correct. The answer is correct. So the answer is correct. Then the last section, they say simplify this into a single trigonometric ratio. A very interesting one. So it's 5.3 is a 1 minus cos squared a over 4 cos 90 plus an a, right? Remember, this is an identity. Which one? Sine squared a plus cos squared a is cos 2a1. Therefore, I make assign the subject. Sine squared a is cos 2 minus cos squared a. So where there is this, I'll substitute with this, right? So okay, how many marks? 3 marks. Remember, a change is a mark, ne? Right? So this becomes sine squared a over 4. Which quadrant is this one? 90 plus an a. Which quadrant? It is in the oh, this is in the second quadrant, right? Yes, second quadrant, and cos is negative, so it's going to be negative. But since there's a 90, it becomes a sine a. So this becomes a sine squared a over negative 4 sine a. So this becomes negative 1 over 4 sine a. So this is what we are having. This is what we are having. All right, have a beautiful night. Don't forget to subscribe and like the page. Thank you.